Saving money alone won't make you rich. Here's what actually will. I need to tell you something that might sound completely wrong at first. In fact, there's a good chance you've heard the exact opposite your entire life. Since we were kids, we've all been taught the same formula. Work hard, spend less, save your money. And if you do those things consistently, eventually you'll become financially secure and live comfortably. Sounds reasonable, right? The problem is that somewhere along the way, many of us started believing something that simply isn't true. We started believing that saving money alone creates wealth. And that's the part I want to challenge today. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Saving money alone won't make you rich. Now, before anyone misunderstands me, let me make something very clear. I am not against saving money. Actually, I believe every person should have savings. Savings are important. Savings are responsible. Savings protect you when life goes wrong. But protection and wealth are not the same thing. And I think that's where so many people unknowingly get stuck. Because there are millions of people doing everything they were told to do. They wake up early. They work hard. They avoid debt. They sacrifice things they want. They save consistently. They try to be responsible. Yet despite doing all of that, many of them still feel financially trapped. They still depend on their next paycheck. They still worry about unexpected expenses. They still feel like true freedom is always somewhere in the future. And after years of hard work, they quietly ask themselves, why does it still feel like I'm struggling? I think that's one of the most frustrating feelings in the world, doing everything right and still feeling like you're not getting ahead. And honestly, that's because saving money was never designed to make you wealthy. Saving money was designed to make you safe. Those are two completely different goals, and nobody really explained the difference. The truth is, our parents weren't wrong. Our teachers weren't wrong. Previous generations gave us the best advice they knew, because for many years, that advice actually worked. Back then, life was different. Homes were more affordable. College costs were lower. Pensions were common. Wages grew steadily. And many people could work one job, save consistently, retire, and live comfortably. But over time, the world changed. Housing prices increased. Living expenses climbed. Inflation kept pushing prices higher. Pensions disappeared. And more responsibility shifted onto individuals. But even though the game changed, the advice stayed the same. People continued saying, just save more. Put money in the bank. Be careful with spending. And again, none of that advice is bad. It's just incomplete. Because following yesterday's rules in today's economy can leave people disappointed. Imagine someone who saves $500 every month. Not occasionally, not when they feel like it, but consistently, month after month, year after year. For 20 years, that person sacrifices vacations, skips unnecessary purchases, avoids lifestyle inflation, and after 20 years, they've accumulated around $120,000. That's impressive. It takes discipline. And honestly, most people don't have that level of consistency. But here's the problem. While that person was saving, inflation was working too, quietly, patiently, year after year. Because inflation doesn't announce itself. It slowly reduces the purchasing power of your money. What costs $100 today may cost much more in the future, which means money sitting still slowly loses value over time. And that's the part many people never hear. Money that doesn't grow eventually falls behind. This is why wealthy people think differently. Most people think the formula looks like this: work, save, retire. But wealthy people usually follow another formula: work, save, buy assets, allow those assets to grow, eventually let those assets produce income. That's the real shift. Because wealthy people understand something most people never learn. Money itself isn't the goal. Ownership is. Owning businesses, owning investments, owning assets, owning things that can continue creating value even when you're sleeping, because eventually there comes a point where your assets begin working harder than you do. And that's where financial freedom starts. Now I know what some people are thinking. That's easy for rich people, but almost every wealthy person started somewhere. Nobody begins with millions. Nobody wakes up one day with an empire. Most people start small. They start with habits. They start with consistency. They start with learning. And over time, those small decisions compound into something much bigger, because wealth is rarely built in dramatic moments. It's built quietly, one decision at a time, one investment at a time, one habit at a time. And here's the best analogy I've ever heard. Your savings account is like a seatbelt, and seatbelts are extremely important. You should absolutely have one, because when life throws unexpected problems at you, savings can protect you. But nobody wins a race because of their seatbelt. They win because they have an engine. Savings are your protection, assets are your engine, and confusing the two can delay your financial future for years. So if I were starting over from zero today, here's exactly what I would focus on. First, I would build an emergency fund, not because it would make me rich, but because peace of mind matters. Financial stress causes people to make emotional decisions, and emotional decisions are expensive. Having several months of expenses saved gives you breathing room. It allows you to think long-term, and long-term thinking changes everything. Second, I would begin buying income-producing assets. That could be index funds, dividend investments, real estate, a business, or even skills that increase my income. Because early in life, your greatest asset isn't necessarily money. It's your ability to become more valuable. The more value you create, the more opportunities you attract. Third, I would focus on increasing my income instead of obsessing over cutting every expense. Because there's a limit to how much you can save, but there's almost no limit to how much you can earn. Too many people spend years trying to save another $20 or $50, but very few spend that same energy developing skills that could increase their income by thousands. Learn, improve, adapt, become more valuable, because wealth isn't built only by spending less. It's built by creating more. And finally, I would automate investing, because successful people understand that consistency matters more than motivation. Motivation comes and goes, emotions come and go, but systems remain. Most people automate their bills. Wealthy people automate wealth creation. And over time, those small automatic actions become life-changing, because consistency beats intensity every single time. And if you've spent years saving money, I want you to hear this carefully. You haven't been doing the wrong thing. You've been doing something important. Saving money is responsible. Saving money is wise. Saving money protects your family. But don't stop there, because saving protects your present. Assets build your future. You need both. One keeps you safe. The other creates freedom. Maybe nobody ever told you that. Maybe you've spent years believing that if you sacrificed enough, eventually everything would magically work out. But wealth rarely happens by accident. It happens by design. So keep saving, but start building. Keep protecting, but start growing. Because your savings account is not your final destination. It's simply the starting line. And the people who eventually achieve financial freedom aren't always the smartest. They aren't always the luckiest. They're simply the people who understand one powerful truth. Money sitting still protects you. Money invested with purpose transforms you. And if this message changed the way you think about money, then maybe that's exactly what VALTIQ Wealth is here for. Not just to help you make more money, but to help you think differently about money. Because sometimes changing your financial future begins with changing one belief. And one belief can change everything.